Gary Lineker was criticised by journalist Carole Malone as she debated the BBC's annual salary list on Jeremy Vine Storm Huntley on 5. Journalist Carole Malone took aim at Gary Lineker during Wednesday's instalment of Jeremy Vine Storm Huntley on Channel 5 following the news that the BBC paid him a whopping £1.35 million last year. Ms. Malone raged, "This is public money we are talking about here, and that is just insulting to working people. That £1.35 million is insulting to people who are forced to pay £169 a year for a BBC licence." Bobby Friction, a BBC Asian network DJ, then argued that the channel's ratings would suffer if the Match of the Day host was no longer on screens. Carole hit back, "Do you really think ratings would go down if Gary Lineker wasn't presenting? I don't think so for a minute. There are lots of young, talented sports presenters out there on a fraction of that who would do just as good a job as him. And, it's the pundits he has on with him that are good as well. He has the name he has because he has been there a long time and been paid that kind of money." The debate hit a nerve with viewers, and many took to social media to share their opinions. A user named Philip tweeted, "Gary Lineker is lovely. Leave him alone. That said, would I watch Match of the Day if someone else was presenting it? Yes. People will always watch it to see the highlights of their team first and foremost. Regardless of who presents it. It has been on since the 1960s, remember." Johannes agreed, "I'm not that interested in football, but I agree. Lineker might well command more money on commercial/subscription channels, but this wouldn't translate into viewing figures for them. Most BBC viewers would be happy with a good competent presenter regardless of his/her status." Elizabeth criticised, "Give him minimum wage. He sits and chats for 2 hours occasionally. Money for old rope." While John argued, "Is everyone that works for BBC going to get their wages scrutinised or just Gary Lineker?" Donald replied, "I was amazed how many people were getting between £300,000 and £500,000 for reading the news from an autocue." The BBC's annual salary list, published on Tuesday, revealed Gary as the highest paid staff for the 7th year. BBC Radio 2 presenter Zoe Ball was second with a salary of at least £950,000, and disgraced newsreader Hugh Edwards came third at £475,000, despite not being on air since July 2023. He also received a pay rise of £40,000 compared to his previous salary. After months off screens, Hugh officially resigned in April 2024 following allegations he paid a young person for explicit pictures. On top of this, the BBC confirmed it is to cut 500 jobs in a bid to save £200 million for the transformation of the corporation. In a press conference on Tuesday, Chief Operating Advisor Lita Vaziva said, "To further build our digital capabilities, whilst targeting efficiencies, over the next 2 years we will continue to close and transfer roles in some areas and create new roles in growth areas. This will result in a forecast net reduction of 500 roles in the public service by March 26, with further growth in targeted areas planned in our commercial group. To support these changes, we will today be launching a new voluntary redundancy scheme for staff. Our priority remains to protect and champion the BBC's fighting role as the UK's public service broadcaster, for all our audiences both local and global."